Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Welcome to Fire Your MD Now. Now, we take live calls on this show as much as is humanly possible, so give us a shout, toll-free from anywhere in the U.S., 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Once more, 866-582-9933. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for thinking outside the box, because that is what's required in order to maintain your health. Actually, to regain your health, number one, and then maintain your health. Now, as I promised yesterday, we're going to spend the first segment here talking about the health of the intestinal tract, because there is a lot of misinformation out there surrounding this very important part of the human body. Very important. So let's break it down one system at a time, right? Your digestive tract is basically one big hose. It's one big tube that goes all the way from your mouth to your South Pole. You know what I'm talking about. It's one big tube. Now, interestingly enough, the stuff that's on the inside of that tube is on the outside of the body. Imagine that. Things don't get inside the body, technically speaking, until they have entered into the bloodstream. So that long tube that's called the digestive tract that goes from your mouth to your South Pole is the border between the inside of the body and the outside of the body. And when you eat food, you know, you put it in your mouth, your teeth mash it up. It mixes with saliva and amylase and digestive enzymes in your mouth, and then you swallow it. It goes into your stomach, which is basically a big bag of acid. If you're healthy, the stomach digests it. Healthy stomach, for healthy stomach acid, you need calcium and you need salt. That's why everybody needs to be salting their food. Need to be salting your food. Let me say it once more. Everybody needs to be salting their food. Do not listen to the MD. As a matter of fact, listen to the MD and then do exactly the opposite of what they tell you. So if you're healthy and have good, strong stomach acid, your stomach digests the food chemically, and then it passes from the stomach into the small intestine. And it's the job of the small intestine to absorb the nutrition through that tube into the bloodstream. Absorb the nutrients from the food, the calories, the sugars, everything that's in that food that the stomach and the teeth and the mouth have knocked down. Absorb it through the walls of the small intestine into the bloodstream, thereby passing the food or the drink or whatever it is that you just swallowed from the outside of your body to the inside of your body. Now, after the food has been absorbed, what nutrients that can be absorbed are absorbed, the remainder of the food stuff, the stuff that your body could not digest, flows downstream and empties into the large intestine, which is formerly known as the colon. All right? Your colon and your large intestine are the same thing. Now, remember, it's just part of this one long tube. There's no difference. Different parts of the tube do different things. The job of the large intestine is to get rid of stuff that your body doesn't want. The small intestines absorb it. Well, the stomach and the mouth break it down. The small intestine absorbs it, and the large intestine gets rid of the waste material that your body couldn't use. It's a pretty efficient system from one end to the other. But remember, it's one long tube, and stuff that's on the inside of the tube is outside the body. Stuff doesn't get inside the body until it absorbs through the small intestine into the bloodstream. Now, if you are unwittingly, because you listen to an MD, because you listen to Betty Crocker, because you listen to General Mills, because you listen to the Monsanto Corporation, if you are unwittingly, consistently eating food that is inappropriate for your body, like the straws that broke the camel's back, the food and the stuff that you drink, the food that you eat and the stuff that you drink that is inappropriate for your body will whittle away at the health of your digestive tract. Now, most of the damage that's done in this domain is in the small intestine. Most of the damage here happens in the small intestine. Some of it happens in the stomach a little bit. Some of it happens in the large intestine. But the lion's share of the problem here happens in the small intestine because, you know, if the small intestine does the lion's share of the work here, in the small intestine, and I am not exaggerating, remember I am not prone to exaggeration. The only time I exaggerate is when I talk about Dr. Wallach, and I'm not exaggerating when I'm talking about Dr. Wallach. I'm telling the truth. It just sounds like I'm exaggerating because Dr. Wallach's career is so extraordinarily remarkable. You can't help but sound like you're exaggerating when you're talking about him. You can't help but sound like you're exaggerating when you talk about Michael Jordan or Da Vinci or Einstein, right? Giants in their field. Dr. Wallach, a giant in his field. But I digress. There are billions with a B of tissues in the small intestinal tract whose job it is to absorb those nutrients into the bloodstream. Billions of them. That's a lot. That's 1,000 million, right? That's a lot. A million is 1,000,000. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of tissue. A lot of things can go wrong down there. Now, when you are unwittingly eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. That's right, whole wheat, whole grains, granola bars, oatmeal, oatmeal, oatmeal. I don't care if it's steel-cut oats grown by Trappist monks, harvested under a full moon while they're chanting. If it's wheat, barley, rye, or oats, the protein in those grains damages the billions of tissue in the small intestinal tract that your body uses to absorb nutrients. It damages them. That's right. Whole grains damage your intestinal tract. Do not eat them. Do not look at them. Do not be downwind of them when they're cooking them. Just say no to grain. Remember, Betty Crocker was not a doctor. For goodness sake. You know, we'll take advice from anybody with a website these days, or so it seems, and before that it was anybody with deep pockets and TV commercials. We just believe anything that they put on TV, anything at all. We'll believe it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's gotten us into a ton of trouble. So, long story short, what happens when you consistently eat food that damages the tissue in your intestinal tract? Well, that doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. If I hit myself in the hand with a little ball-peen hammer 5 times a day in exactly the same spot, after a week, I'd have a pretty big black and blue. After a month, it would be worse. After 6 months of that, it might even turn to gangrene. There might be a problem there. Well, there's going to be a problem there. It's just a matter of time until those tissues become so corrupted by that stress that, you know, they're dead and destroyed, and that's not good. Well, it's the same in your intestinal tract. So the consistent consumption of all the wrong foods, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, are the biggest culprits here. The next ones are oil in a bottle. That's right, everybody's favorite olive oil, salad dressings, canola oil, peanut oil in a bottle, fried food. Colonel Sanders has been dead for 31 years, and he's still killing people. Fried food contains a nasty chemical called acrylamide. It'll kill you. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat. Well-done red meat is bad. It contains a bad chemical called a heterocyclic amine, and it's dangerous. It's carcinogenic. It's pro-inflammatory. Don't eat it. You know those black grill marks on the steak? That crap will kill you. Don't eat it. You want to eat a steak? Have it rare or medium rare. If you want to cook it on the grill, wrap it in aluminum foil so you don't get the grill marks. And by the way, there is no relationship between Alzheimer's and aluminum. It's an old wives' tale. It does not exist. In the second segment, I'll tell you why. So no wheat, no barley, no rye, no oats, no oil in a bottle, no fried food, no well-done red meat, no meats, deli meats especially. This is where the main culprit here is. Deli meats that have been injected with nitrates as preservatives. Nitrates, sodium nitrite, potassium nitrate. These things are sprayed onto or injected into the meat to keep it looking nice and rosy red in the deli case so it doesn't turn gray and look like a cadaver, because if it looks like a cadaver, nobody's going to buy it. Unless you're a zombie or a vampire, and the only zombies and vampires live in L.A. That was a joke, friends. So wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat, nitrates injected into meat, bacon. I just had bacon before this show, but my bacon's nitrate-free. You can have nitrate-free bacon until the cows come home. It's not the meat, it's how it's cooked or what's in it. And finally, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes. If you want to boil a potato, a yam, or a sweet potato, feel free to eat the skins. But if you bake a yam, potato, or a sweet potato, eat the potato, not the skin, because the skin also contains heterocyclic amines, which will kill you. And finally, I lied. That wasn't the last one. The last one is any type of carbonated beverage with a meal. When you drink a carbonated beverage with a meal, the bubbles in that carbonated beverage dilute stomach acid. It's carbon dioxide. That's what makes the bubbles. Carbon dioxide neutralizes stomach acid. That's not a good idea because your stomach acid is trying to be strong to digest the food. So if you wash down a meal with a carbonated beverage, Coke, a soda pop, champagne, beer, sparkling water, I don't care what it is, you're going to interfere and interrupt the process of digestion, and that, again, is a fool's errand. You will hurt yourself if you continue to do that. It's just a matter of time. So all of these foods we eat all of the time, and all of the time our body, our health is getting chipped away, the straws that broke the camel's back. The end result of all of this, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, and inflammatory bowel disease, which from our point of view are all the same illness, just different stages of tissue destruction. These are all different arms of the same octopus. And the problem is compounded by the fact that because the food that you're eating is destroying the tissue in the body that absorbs nutrients, your body is nutrient poor. It is nutrient starved and does not have what it needs to fix itself. It's like kicking somebody when they're down. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopathic physician, bringing 23 years of clinical experience to bear on answering your health questions and helping to drag you into the light of medical nutrition, because as God is my witness, you don't know what you're missing. Now, all of this information, good food, bad food, is going to be available on a webinar tonight. Normally, to get access to my webinars, it's a subscription. It's $5 a month or $50 a year. But tonight, one time only for my listening audience, I'm letting everybody into the webinar for free. So go to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, and right there on the home page, you're going to see information about how to log on to the webinar tonight. It goes from 8 o'clock, a little bit before 8 to about 8:45, 8:50, depending on how many questions we are. Central Time. That's 8 to 8:50 Central Time. Check it out. Go to fireyourmdnow.com and log on to the webinar tonight. It's free, one time only for my listening audience. Give you a little taste of what I have to offer in the webinar zone. All right, we're going to go right to the phones. I believe we have MJ from Chicago with a question about diabetes. Hello, MJ. Thanks for calling.
Oh, hello. Thank you for taking my call, doctor. I just had a question in regards to type 2 diabetes as well as connection with heart disease and kidney issues.
Yeah, what's the question? Specifically, you want to know how they're related?
Well, no, I want to know if you do come across, when you have diabetes and you have those problems, how can you actually treat those without using all those medications or in conjunction with medications? What kind of supplements can you use?
Because we treat them because we're the smartest doctors in the world. We treat them because we're actually trained in medicine. Your MD, bless his heart, is trained in pharmacy. Your medical doctor, medicine in the United States has basically devolved in the last 100 years into a pharmacy selling operation. MDs, with the exception of emergency room and military field medicines and surgeons, MDs have devolved into pharmacists. They're basically shills for the pharmaceutical industry. Now, and this is evidenced by type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, from our position, is a nutritional deficiency disease. This was proven in 1957 by a doctor named Merz. He showed that type 2 diabetes could be eliminated or turned on, or eliminated or turned on in mice with the addition or the reduction of a mineral, the mineral being chromium. You know, just like vitamin C eliminates scurvy, scurvy being a vitamin C deficiency, type 2 diabetes is a multiple mineral deficiency illness from the medical nutrition point of view. It's not genetic. It's got nothing to do with aging, and you haven't been cursed by God. The only reason that you have type 2 diabetes is because your body has run out of the raw materials it needs to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels. It's that simple. Your body runs out of vitamin C, you get scurvy. Your body runs out of vitamin D, like David, you get rickets. Your body runs out, I can't speak today, folks. Your body runs out of vitamin B12, you get anemia. Your body runs out of iron, you get a different type of anemia, right? Well, guess what? There's about 27 minerals that your body needs to maintain proper blood sugar levels, and if you run out of a handful of them, you're going to get type 2 diabetes. And guess what? If you put those nutrients back into the body, the type 2 diabetes disappears. Now, we can't say we can treat it. Imagine that. We can't say we can cure it. Imagine that. We could have 10,000 people who had type 2 diabetes before they saw us, had type 2, and then the type 2 diabetes went away. And we wouldn't be able to say we can cure it because according to the FDA, the only thing that can cure anything are drugs, and you need to bring about $60 million of research to the marketplace in order to make the cure claim. So we can't say this. But I can tell you this, as God is my witness. I cannot treat and I cannot cure type 2 diabetes, but I can deliver therapies that will support and promote your body's ability to maintain healthy blood sugar levels, and the symptoms of your type 2 diabetes will disappear 100%. So here's what I recommend. You're going to want to write this down. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the nutritional supplements tab, and go, and that will give you access to state-of-the-art, cutting-edge nutritional supplements at the wholesale price. All that we recommend to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels is one healthy blood sugar pack, and one bottle of liquid plant minerals, plant-derived minerals. One healthy blood sugar pack and one bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, purchase those supplements appropriate for your body weight, and download the Good Food, Bad Food Diet. Join us on tonight's webinar. Increase your knowledge base, increase your nutrition, take back your health. Healing is easy, folks. Surgery is difficult. Stick with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your lucky day. You have tuned in to Fire Your MD Now, where you're going to dramatically increase your knowledge base so that when you are up against a health concern, when you are in trouble physically, mentally, or emotionally, you will know what to do. You're taken advantage of right now because, for goodness sake, when you're sick, you're in pain, you're afraid, you're in trouble, you're going to do anything the MD tells you to do because that's just life. That's the way we've been brought up. You assume that your MD is trained in the most appropriate medical therapy for your condition, but they are not. Your MD is trained in the pharmaceutical intervention, reductionistic, allopathic, pharmaceutical centrist intervention. It might not be best. Oftentimes, it's not the best option for you. It's the only one they know. It's the only one their colleagues know. It's the only one they go to school about. It's the only stuff they're taught in school. But it's one small piece of the pie, one small piece. There are thousands of science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, but there are only a handful of licensed physicians with any experience in them whatsoever, because medicine's a gigantic monopoly in the United States. It has devolved, baby. Dr. Benjamin Rush saw it coming 200 years ago. Here's what he said: unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize itself into a dictatorship. To restrict the art of healing to one class of people and deny equal privileges to others will constitute the Bastille of medical science, and that is exactly what's happened in the United States. We do not have a free medical market, period. Now look, if you're happy with drugs and surgery, God bless you and have a nice life. But if you're not, if you're frustrated, if your health is going to hell in a handbasket, you're taking 17 prescription medicines and you feel worse than you did before you went to the MD, you've come to exactly the right place. Now, the last caller had a question, well, what's the relationship between type 2 diabetes and heart disease and whatever the other illness was? Well, here's the relationship. They're all nutrient deficiencies. They are all arms of the same octopus. Your body has a built-in, God-given ability to fix itself. And unless you're exposed to a trauma, like you're T-boned at an intersection, by a drunk driver, or you're in Iraq and you step on a claymore, or somebody shoots you, or you get a nasty microbe in your body, right? Outside of kind of extraordinary things like that, your body has a remarkable ability to fix itself. Remarkable. If you eat food that supports and promotes health rather than destroys health, by the way, why would anybody buy something that's not called health food, right? I mean, what's the opposite to health food? Death food? What am I going to do, health food or death food? Well, I think I'll do the death food, Alex, for 10. You got to give me a break. The problem that we have here in the United States is that most of the health food that's available in the health food store isn't healthy. Because we all have these silly ideas about what's healthy and what's not, and they're not based on anything, other than some juvenile research that was done 50 years ago by somebody selling that supplement, somebody selling that food item, somebody selling that drink. We've got it backwards. Salt is good. Oil is bad. Butter is good. Cholesterol is good. Margarine is bad. Well done red meat will kill you. Rare meat or boiled meat, no problem. Have it 5 times a day if you want. Nothing wrong with sugar. Sugar is your body's fuel. Sugar is the gasoline your body needs. You don't get type 2 diabetes because you eat too much sugar. You get type 2 diabetes because your body runs out of minerals. Now, is it possible to eat too much sugar? Yeah, it is. It is. But on a relative scheme of things, it is much worse from a health perspective to have not enough calcium or not enough vitamin B or not enough vitamin C or not enough amino acids in your body than too much sugar. But see, these are the things we don't know. We're certainly not taught these things in school because there's only a handful, again, of licensed physicians who know this. We're like the people, we're like Galileo, standing up and saying, hey, everybody, guess what? It's the sun that's at the center of the solar system, not the earth. What are you talking about, Galileo? You're a crackpot. We're going to throw you in jail until you change your mind. Well, that's what we're like. They're not going to throw me in jail. They're not going to throw Dr. Wallach in jail, but we're getting a lot of crap. Why? Because we're standing up and saying, hey, wait a minute, take a look at this. What we're doing now with conventional medicine doesn't work. What we're doing now with our understanding of food and nutrition doesn't work. Take a look at this. And it's ironic because all of our stuff is based on millions of dollars of federally funded research and decades of clinical experience. We've got it dialed in. You would be wise to pay attention to what we have to say. And along those lines, I believe we still have someone on the line. Caroline from New York. Are you still with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thanks so much for calling. How can I help?
Well, it's about my mom. About a year and a half ago, she took a cruise to Mexico. She swears she caught something on the cruise. Came home, and about another 6-7 months later, she had a dry cough, which turned into a sinus infection. Then it got into her bronchial tubes. She was on 3 rounds of antibiotics, 3 rounds of steroids, 2 hospital stays, and she's still coughing up green, yellow, mucus, and she can't seem to shake whatever it is. And I don't know what to do for her.
So why isn't she calling me?
Well, because she doesn't know about you.
Yeah, okay, well, see, I get it. I'm being kind of cocky asking that question. But here's the deal. You can lead a horse to water, right, but you can't make it drink. I can tell you exactly what to do to support and promote the respiratory tract of your mother and to increase her immune function. That's as easy as falling off a truck. I can tell you what to do. I know what to do. The trick is getting your mother to do it. See, this is the problem. You can lead a horse to water, right, but you can't make it drink. So one of the tools that we use to kind of drag people into the light of medical nutrition, and don't worry, I'm going to tell you what to do. But if your mother balks at what you're telling her, right, if she balks at what you're telling her, then I recommend you go to fireyourmdnow.com and purchase the audio CD called Who Made the MD King. It's a recording of a lecture that I gave a couple of years ago. There's also another CD available on that website. It's called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It's the famous lecture given by my colleague and mentor, Dr. Wallach, years ago. The combination of those CDs, you know, the information in those lectures, they're live lectures, and they ring true. So people listen to those things, and little lights start to go off in their heads, and they go, well, you know what, that kind of makes sense. I actually think I'd like to try that. So for people that are on the fence, and a lot of people in our parents' generation, let's be honest, are on the fence because it's our parents' generation really has drunken the Kool-Aid that the MD is a god. You know, I mean, the MD could tell our parents to do anything and they're going to do it, as is evidenced by your mother. I mean, hospital stays, 3 rounds of antibiotics, you know, prednisone, all this stuff, and she's still sick. And now, did they give her money back? No. Did they apologize for not being able to fix it? No. Is she still paying, you know, hefty insurance premiums every month? Yes. To gain access to a system of medicine that doesn't work. Welcome to my nightmare. So to support and promote the health of the respiratory tract, well, let's talk about the immune system first, because that's easy. It's actually both easy. I just like talking about the immune system because it's really, really easy. You know, if you broke a bone, a smart person would take nutritional supplements that had stuff in it that the bones were made out of, minerals, phosphorus, calcium, silica, stuff like that, because that's what the bones are made out of, and that's a smart idea. Well, guess what your immune system is made out of? Protein. It's made out of protein. Bet you didn't know that. That's one of the reasons why chicken soup is such an effective treatment for influenza or a head cold, because chicken soup has really absorbable protein in it. Your body sucks up the protein in the chicken soup like, you know, water to a thirsty person. So we want to emphasize the consumption of foods that are high in protein to anybody that's immune compromised. And the food source that is the protein, that all proteins are compared to, is the lowly chicken egg, or should I say the mighty chicken egg. So I want your mother eating 4 eggs a day. And I want her to eat them soft scrambled in butter. Don't want to cook them in oil. I want to cook them in a fry pan with butter, not margarine, butter. Soft scrambled in butter, soft boiled, or poached. And if she soft boils them or poaches them, I want her to put some butter and salt on it. And if they're soft scrambled in butter in a little fry pan, I want her to put salt on them when they come out of the fry pan so she eats them. I want her to eat 4 eggs a day. And 50% of every meal that she eats, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, needs to be a protein source. Needs to be protein. Fish, chicken, meat, rice and beans, quinoa, nuts, mixed salted nuts, eggs, right? Go crazy with protein until she recovers her health. That's number 1. Number 2, there's a fantastic nutritional supplement that Dr. Wallach formulated. It's called Killer Biotic. And it's a combination of botanical medicines, of herbal medicines which support and promote your immune system. You know, if you had a dead battery in your car, you could jump-start it by hooking it up to the power from another car. Well, that's kind of what Killer Biotic does. Killer Biotic has botanical medicines in it, herbal treatments which stimulate and strengthen and activate the body's own immune system. And it's always better when you're fighting an infection to first try to get it from within, by stimulating the body's own immune system rather than trying to get it from without with antibiotics. You know, because the bugs are tricky and the antibiotics aren't as effective as they used to be. Why? Because MDs have way overprescribed them. The reason that antibiotics are not as effective is because MDs have way overprescribed them for the last 50 years. It's the MD's fault. It's not the practice of medicine. It's bad medicine. It's the MD's fault. So I would give your mother 1 bottle of Killer Biotic if she's under 150 pounds a month, and I would give her 2 bottles of Killer Biotic a month if she's over 150 pounds, plus the extra protein in the diet, and now the secret sauce for the respiratory tract. 1 healthy start pack one bottle of liquid plant minerals, one healthy start pack, and one bottle of liquid plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus one bottle of EFA at the 180 count. That's one healthy start pack and one liquid plant minerals. It's actually called plant-derived minerals. And per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and one bottle of EFA, essential fatty acids, at the 180 count. Now, be careful when you're ordering this stuff, because we have the EFA, the EFA plus, we've got it in the 90 count, we've got it in the 180 count. I want her to take the EFA at the 180 count, all right? And 180 divided by 30 is 6. So she needs to be taking 6 a day. She can do 2 with breakfast, 2 with lunch, 2 with dinner, or 3 and 3. So one healthy start pack, one bottle of liquid plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, killer biotic or 2, depending on her body weight, and one extra bottle of the EFA plus. And the final nail in the coffin, selenium. She needs to be taking 3 bottles of selenium a day. That's 3 selenium with breakfast, 3 selenium with lunch, and 3 selenium with dinner. Why? Because the mineral selenium supports the body's own natural bug killer mechanisms. It increases something called the macrophage response time, which will amp up her immune function and help her body to recover its health. Have her do this program for 4 weeks. She's going to love how she feels. Welcome back, folks. Dr. Peter Glidden here. We're going to go right to the phones. Bunny is calling from Florida. Bunny, thanks for listening. How can I help?
Hi. Hello?
Hello. How are you? You're on live on the air. How about that?
Great. Great. I just lost you for a minute on my phone. Thank you for taking my call. I have a fat malabsorption problem, and I had some arthritis in my neck. I had an injury at work, and it's kept me out of work for a couple of years. And the tendon around my right shoulder blade just aches every day. And I was just getting ready to submit a longevity order. And when you started talking to some of your other callers about exactly what they should take, I thought, why don't I call you before I place my order, and maybe you can help me choose what I should try.
Smart girl. You're the smartest girl in class, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do. And, you know, there's a bottleneck in the longevity company because of this, and because there's only a handful of us that know Dr. Wallach's health recovery protocols, and, you know, you have to dial it in correctly or you're going to get limited results. So I have webinars, health webinars, 3-4 times a month, and when we do a live webinar, we archive all the information. So you can go to fireyourmdnow.com and log into the webinars. Tonight's webinar is free. You can watch tonight's webinar for free. Check it out. See if it's useful information, something that you would think, you know, would help you. And then if you like it, subscribe. $5 a month, $50 a year. And when you subscribe to my webinars, you'll have access to all the live webinars and all the recorded webinars. So you'll know exactly what to do, exactly what to take, exactly how much of it to take, and, you know, what all, if side effects develop, what that means and how to deal with it. This is my contribution to Dr. Wallach's mission, forwarding the cause of health recovery through medical nutrition, really, because healing is easy, you know, and if folks could, if you're smart enough to pass the driver's license test, folks, you're smart enough to help your body recover from most chronic illnesses. So check out the webinars tonight, and let's get everybody healthy, because everybody in this country suffers for no reason. Now, the main thing that we want to do when we're helping soft tissue, joints, and bones recover their health is we need to provide the matrix of all of those tissues support. The matrix of all of those tissues are sulfur-bearing molecules, the most famous of which everybody's heard about because Dr. Wallach was the guy that contributed this research 25 years ago, glucosamine sulfate. Everybody and their brothers heard about glucosamine now. Well, we need glucosamine sulfate, we need chondroitin sulfate, we need a funny little acid called hyaluronic acid. That's the matrix that the bones and the joints and the tendons are made from. So we need to give the body a lot of that, and you've got 2 ways to do that. You can do the liquid glucogel. A liquid glucogel is dosed at 1 ounce per 50 pounds of body weight per day. 1 ounce per 50 pounds of body weight per day. Or you can do the glucogel capsules. Now, the glucogel capsules are dosed at 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if you're 160 pounds, 160 divided by 10 is 16. You would need 16 glucogel capsules a day. So you do 5 with breakfast, 5 with lunch, and 6 with dinner, right? If you're 100 pounds, you need 10 a day. Do 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, and 4 with dinner, just like that. So it's 1 glucogel capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day, and 1 ounce of the glucogel liquid per 50 pounds of body weight per day. And if you really want to go for it, you can use both. Just double it up and use both, because it is a myth that you can overdose with this stuff. You cannot. You know how many people died last year from vitamins? 0. You know how many people died from prescription medicines? 780,000. 780,000. That's 90 people an hour go through death's door because they went to see an MD. Don't worry about the negative side effects of nutritional supplements, because they do not exist. Now, the final thing to do, of course, is 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And by the way, if you don't like the taste of the OsteoFX Plus, which is the white liquid calcium in the healthy start pack, switch it out to a different product called Cal Toddy. It's a liquid product sold by Youngevity under the Supra Life label. It's called Cal Toddy. I prefer it to OsteoFX Plus, quite frankly, but the dosage is the same. It's 1 ounce of that stuff per 100 pounds of body weight per day. So that's what you need. Plus, you need the good food, bad food diet. Check it out. We're going to do a live webinar tonight. It's free. Visit me, fireyourmdnow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.